On October 7th, Palestinian militant group Hamas launched an attack on Israel. By land, by sea, by air. It was the first time Hamas has directly invaded Israel. Some have described it as Israel's September 11th moment, the worst surprise attack in 50 years. Homes, civilians, a concert were all targeted. No one saw it coming, but at the same time, it was not a surprise. The last time serious violence broke out was in 2021, but it was nothing like this. Israel has said that they will launch a complete siege on Gaza. The bombing has begun, and a ground offensive could be launched. Urban warfare in one of the most densely populated places on Earth. As the situation unfolds, many want to know the context behind the war. It is a conflict that has raged on for generations. The same issues and hatred we see today is born of 100 years of struggle. So how did it start? After the Ottoman Empire was defeated in World War I, Britain took control of the area known as Palestine. Arab-majority Jewish minority Britain was tasked with setting up a national home for Jewish people in Palestine. But both the Jews and Arabs claimed that historical Palestine was their land. You can see how that will become an issue in the 1920s to 1940s. Many Jewish people fled to Palestine, escaping persecution and the Holocaust. That incident Arab population violence between the Jewish Arabs and Brits escalated. SO 1947. The UN voted for Palestine to be split into separated Jewish and Arab states, Jerusalem. A holy land for both would become an international city. Jewish leader embraced the plan, but the Arab leader did not. In 1948, the Brits left and the Jewish leader created the State of Israel, which is backed by Harry S. Truman. This did not go down well with the Palestinians, the beginning of the Arabs-Israeli conflict. It was catastrophic for Palestinians. Hundreds of thousands fled. Israel controlled most of the land. Jordan starting with Palestinians occupied land which become in West Bank. Egypt occupied Gaza. Jerusalem was divided between the Israeli forces with the West. There was never a peace agreement. Each side blamed the other. War would continue for decades. June 5, 1967, the Six-Day War. Most Palestinians refugees, their descendants live in Gaza and the West Bank. Israel won't allow them to return to their homes. Israel says this would overwhelm the country and threaten its existence as Jewish state. The UN still recognizes that land as occupied territory. Following. Okay, now let's look at. It's one of the holiest land on earth for Christians, Jews, and Muslims. Israel claims the whole city as its capital, but the Palestine claims East Jerusalem is the capital of its future state. For the past 50 years, Israel has built settlements in Jerusalem. More than 600,000 Jews now live there. Palestinians says that's illegal under international law. Numerous attempts at peace starting in 1979 and culminating in the 190s in Oslo. Palestinians and Israeli leaders met and negotiated two-state solution. Initial promise and optimism gave way to anger and distrust. By 2008, the prospects of peace had taken a severe hit. The most recent peace plan came from Donald Trump in January 2020. Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu said it was deal of the century. But the Palestinians scoffed at it, saying it was one-sided. Tensions remained incredibly high in East Jerusalem, Gaza, and the West Bank. Since 2007, Gaza has been ruled by a Palestinians militant group called Hamas. But the things really kicked off in mid-April 2021, the start of Holy Muslim month of Ramadan daily. Violent clashes between Israeli police and Palestinians, forced evictions of Palestinians' families in East Jerusalem. Hamas countered with hundreds of rockets back at Israel. Conflicting claims over Jerusalem is at the emotional core of this conflict. Egypt and other surrounding nations tried to broker peace. For peace to be agreed, both sides need to resolve complex, deep-seated issues. And until that happens, it's hard to see an end to this endless conflict.